Good Tuesday morning, Mount Olive Church family, friends, everyone joining us online for another week of devotions, and hope everybody's having a great start to the week. I'll get my screen pulled up here. So I am winging this devotion as far as Brother Tommy's message Sunday. I didn't get to watch it. I didn't get to be there. I didn't get to listen to it. I think our live may have messed up or something, but we didn't have it on there. I haven't been able to watch it. And I was preaching at another church Sunday morning, and so I hate that I missed Brother Tommy. But good job, Andrew Short, one of my favorites. Andrew, I texted him Monday afternoon, and I said, hey, I can't find the message and been waiting on it here today, and he didn't know either. So, but guess what? He shot me a whole text message page full of notes. So I see that Brother Tommy was in Luke chapter 15 Sunday, and looking through Andrew's notes and talking about the son coming back to the father. And so, listen, I'm not sure exactly what Brother Tommy said in his message, but I'm sure it was good. I'm sure it was phenomenal. Before I get started, I want to say this. I appreciate Brother Tommy. I like to always throw out a little shout out and thank you to some people, but I want to say I appreciate Brother Tommy. He is always, my whole life has been my second dad. And I texted him on Father's Day and told him how much I appreciated him. Happy Father's Day, and that I loved him. And he's always meant a great deal to me. And wonderful man of God. He's always got sound advice. He's always one I can turn to for some advice. And he's always got good lessons. And he always, when I was younger, I'm not going to stay on this too long. When I was younger, he really did treat me like his son. He would call me out when I needed to be, and he would smack my hand when it needed smack. So, but I appreciate him and I love him, more than he'll ever know. So, Tuesday's devotion for you. Luke chapter 15 talks about the prodigal son. That's kind of the familiar story, and going away and coming back, tying that in with Father's Day and being able to come back to his father. And looking through Andrew's notes, I want to go with this, that God is approachable. Our Father is approachable. God is approachable. Luke 15:18, it says this: when the prodigal son was away, and it says, and he came to himself, and, he was thinking about how much he was starving and he had wasted away, and how many servants in his father's house were much better off than he was. And he said this in verse 18, he says, I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee. But I want to focus on what I've got underlined here. And it says, I will arise and go to my father. I think sometimes maybe as Christians, a lot of times we're guilty of this, of not wanting to go to our Father. Maybe sometimes we feel like we're ashamed. Sometimes we've let him down. And, sometimes it's like we're afraid to go to our Father. That's one thing I always tried to really instill in my two daughters growing up. Not that Dad didn't get on them, and not that, I didn't correct them when they needed to be. But I always wanted them to know that they could go to me, that they could come to me, that my arms were open, that they could find a comfort in me, that they could find a rest in me, and that love would never waver. And so I see this here, that this young man, as he came to himself, there was some good love from his father before he ever left, because if not, he would have been afraid to go back. I wonder sometimes if he maybe even delayed going home, how much longer he stayed at the pig pen than he had to, because of just doubt and shame, and sometimes like what we do with our Heavenly Father. But the Father had always showed this young man love. There is not a doubt in my mind, because without that, I don't know that he would have went home. I don't know that he would have even went back. He would have probably went on to something else or tried to find another way. One of the things, there's some points here that I picked out from the father here. When you read this story, he doesn't ask him when he runs to him, and somebody will probably use this through the week, but it says he ran to him and he hugged him and he kissed him. It says, and I put here, he didn't ask him where he had been or what he'd been doing. That was important to him. He was just glad he was home. He didn't tell him, I told you so, or you should have known better. Wow. That one might hit home to some of us dads, right? Sometimes we're really quick to say that. I told you so. You should have known better. I have tried so hard the last several years to break that habit of doing that. Because that is sometimes we don't do nothing, but I don't know that teaches them a lesson. Does it teach them a lesson when we look at them and say, I told you so? Would it have helped that prodigal son if his dad would have looked at him and said, I told you so, you should have known better? No, he just simply showed love. He didn't look at him and say, I hope you learned your lesson. A lot of times we learn our lesson and God doesn't look at us and say, why did you do this? Or I hope you learned your lesson, or you're going to be punished. God's just simply love. Our Father is simply love. So I hope you got something from that today. I'm not sure where that even lined up with Pastor Tommy's message. But listen, I don't know if you're ashamed today, if you're fearing, if you're doubting, but know today that God is approachable. Know your Father today. He still loves you. He still loves you, and he's not going to look at you and say, I told you so. You should have known better. I hope you've learned your lesson. Where have you been? Why did you do that? He is waiting on with outstretched arms just to wrap his arms around you and show you compassion and tell you that he loves you. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Remember to pray for me, and I'll be praying for you. God bless.